So in this video, we're going to be covering the addition property of equality. So the addition property of equality has kind of a long name, but it's really not that hard. So let's say that we had an equation A is equal to B. So this is a very simple equation. A value A is equal to another value B. The addition property of equality says that if we add a value to both sides of the equation, and it's the same value, then we won't change the equation because we'll have an equivalent equation. So both of these are equal by the addition property of equality, because the addition property of equality says that if we add a number to both sides of the equation, and that number is we add the same number to both sides of the equation, then we won't change the equation. We'll produce an equivalent equation. So that's the addition property of equality. Now, how is this going to be useful? This is going to be useful when solving equations for a certain value. So for example, let's say that we had x minus 7 is equal to 10, for example. In this case, what would we need to do in order to solve for x? Well, we need to try to do something to isolate the x, right? That's what we want to do to solve for x. We're trying to isolate the variable. In this case, we can isolate the variable by adding 7 to both sides. By adding 7 to both sides, we're not changing the value of this equation, or we're not changing the equation in any way. It's an equivalent equation, so we can do that without doing anything that's not legal. So if we just add 7 to both sides of the equation, just like that, we will have an equation. The new equation will just be x plus 0, because negative 7 plus 7, that cancels, that becomes 0. X plus 0, which is just x, is equal to 10 plus 7, which is just 17. So x turns out to be 17 in this case. So that's the addition property of equality. In the next video, we're going to be looking at the subtraction property of equality, and using the subtraction property of equality, we can even prove that this is equal to this. I hope you found this video helpful.